$8,000. That's how much we just collected. I'm going to show you a clip right now.
Do you have any questions on that, or you pretty much ready to go?
Okay, it's pretty much $8,000.
Let me go ahead and pull this up and kind of walk you through how the system works. You excited?
I am. Yes, I want to start creating content that
I want to celebrate you, brother. This is a big step for the business, so I want to commend you for taking the leap, and we're going to take really good care of you and make sure that you absolutely crush it. I'm excited to have you on board now. I'll give you a round of applause.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I want to start creating content that actually converts and makes sense.
Let's do it.
That client came in ice cold. They had zero trust, zero clue what we did literally yesterday, and today paid in full $8,000. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. If you run an AI automation or an agency, or you're looking to start your first business, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what you should be selling and why. And I'm not just going to be telling you random models. Like, I know there's so many gurus out there that don't actually sell for an agency, they don't run an agency, they just coach you. I actually run the business model. I'm going to show you what we're doing, why we're doing it. I'm going to show you the logic behind it. And once you see that, you're going to, one, realize how to get extremely high paying clients very easily. And two, you're never going to want to go back to the old model. Trust me, this is going to be a good one. Let's dive right in. So first thing I'm going to cover is, what does the old sort of retainer model actually look like? Because there are a ton of issues with it. I think a lot of people miss them. They're like, wow, $2,000 a month, that sounds fantastic. But they miss out on why it's actually in practice not a very good model at all. So I'm going to break that down first, and then we're going to go into the way I've been doing it and why I think it's so much more effective. So this right here is you, and you are reaching out to all of these different businesses, and this could be through ads, this could be through cold DMs, this could be through email, right? You can do all these different outreach sources, but you're reaching out to all of these businesses and you're saying, hey, please pay me, I have this awesome offer, right? Now, this is a rough estimate, but when you're doing like outbound with DMs, roughly 1 in 300 businesses now will actually be interested and show up to a call. And so that's what I'm going to show here. 1 in 300 is actually interested, and then whoop, we go and we hop on a demo call. That's you on your demo call. And you're like, hey, please buy my stuff. And they're like, let me think about it. Ever heard that before, right? And so after doing a ton of follow-up and doing this process up here 10 different times until you finally get someone to say yes, you will end up closing a retainer deal. And let's just assume it's a $1,500 retainer. But unfortunately, it is not 2023. And so to get them to take that retainer deal, you have to also give them a really good guarantee. And so what a lot of people will end up doing is a refund guarantee. Hey, if we don't hit our appointment number, right, let's say it's 10 appointments, off of $1,000 in ad spend, then we will refund you. So you go, you work your ass off, and you stop acquiring new customers, the common mistake everybody runs into. But it's because you want to hold on to that $1,500 you charged. And by the end of the month, after working so hard, you got them 9 qualified appointments. Unfortunately, the refund guarantee said that you would refund if you didn't hit 10. And so you send them a refund and you're like, crap, Go High Level charged me, my other software charged me, my 10 different Instagram accounts I'm sending DMs from, and the VA I bought them from charged me. And you see your bank account go down after hours and hours and hours of work, and you repeat that process. And that is why a lot of people quit SMMA, and it never has to be your situation, because I'm going to show you a much better model and why it's so much more effective. So now let me walk you through our model and why it's so much more effective, and also so you can see actually how the money is paid out to you and why it's like just extremely, extremely profitable. And I'm going to show you how. I'm going to pop up an example right here. This was a $16,000 day with a client, and here are a bunch of other wins, blah, 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 blah. There you go. Those are performance wins. Let me show you how this works. So in this scenario, we have you, and you are happy because when you reach out to these businesses saying, hey, you only pay for qualified appointments, instead of 1 out of 300, 1 out of 50 will generally positively respond. And we have the numbers to back this up. It's actually very simple. These businesses are used to paying for leads. And so when you say, hey, you want to buy my marketing services, they're like, what are you going to charge? When you say only pay per lead, they're like, all right, I'm all ears. And so this 1 in 50 people come and they hop on your demo call. This is you right here. You're taking the demo call. This is the pretty med spa owner you're talking to. And once you hop on the call, you say, hey, it's actually pay per appointment. I was not bait and switching you. And they're like, holy cow, you're not bait and switching me. Yes, please. I want to buy this. Because what do they have to lose, right? It's pay per appointment. And so what you do is you will generally charge a setup fee, and this could be anywhere between 750. When you get experience and you have good reputation and you get good at sales, you can go up to $8,000 up front like we do. But you charge a one-time setup fee, and then you say, hey, it's $250 per appointment. Now, this number is a generalization, right? For some people, you're going to charge $100 per appointment. For others, you can charge up to $500 per appointment. It really does depend on the industry you're working with, but I'm just kind of averaging it out. And now for the part where any SMMA coach or guru goes completely silent, the actual fulfillment for your client. That's actually where we lean into the most, because if we can have an amazing product, it will sell itself and your business will actually last. And so what we get to do, because we're licensing and selling these AI sales teams instead of just running ads, and if you want to learn more about that, I'm going to pop up a video at the end of this that will walk you through the AI sales teams a little bit more. But because we have those AI sales teams, we can run cheaper ads. We can run basic lead forms or simple landing page forms that'll get basic info on the person, right? And we can get anywhere between $5 to $20 leads because we're not focused on heavily pre-qualifying and warming them up, which is what makes, by the way, a lot of advertisers, their ad costs go up, is they're trying to focus on just the most qualified people, which makes sense, but it also makes it more expensive. But because we have these AI setters working for us, and sometimes we'll combine that with like a very simple, cheap, single ISA, which is going to be a human caller. I normally just rely on the AI, honestly, but sometimes we have a human in there just to help save any deals that the AI does go sideways on. It's rare, but sometimes it happens. But on average, the AI will book 1 in 3 of these and will book a qualified appointment onto your client's calendar. And this is exactly why this model is so good, right? You can collect the cash up front. Obviously, we charge a pretty hefty amount up front because we can, right? But as you can see here, you're getting paid, and it's not $3 signs because it's not thousands of dollars, but you're getting paid like $200 to $500 a day, depending on the ad spend, right? And the cool thing is there are no refunds on that, and these are daily payouts. So you will consistently have money coming in. And by the way, this is off of just one client. And so let's say that realistically, let's just say you get one appointment every other day, right? And you're charging $200. Let's just say worst case scenario. That is still an extra $3,000 on top of what you already charged up front. And you will not have to refund those because you're only getting paid after you get those appointments for your client. And the really cool thing is it's actually quite profitable for your client. I'm just going to show you some math here. So let's just assume worst case, it's $60, right? We're paying $20 per lead. The AI books 1 in 3, so it's $60 for an appointment. And let's say it takes 4 appointments to actually be able to close a deal for your client, right? That means they spent $240 on ads. Plus, they're going to be paying $1,000 to you, right? Because it's $250 per appointment, and they bought 4 of them, right? So they're spending a total of $1,240 on those appointments. And in return, the average size can be anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 profit for roofing, contracting companies, or real estate agents. And so that means that their business gets $3,800 net. I think it's like 37.6, but very similar, right? Roughly $3,800 net. And that is off of only 4 booked appointments, right? If you're doing that, you can often do that in 1 week. So imagine if you do that every single week for a month. Your client will now make roughly $12,000, $13,000 working with you. And guess what that means when they make $12,000 or $13,000? That means you can put more money into more ads with them, which means that you and them make more money together. And that's where it gets ultra profitable. Now, hopefully, you're starting to see why this model makes so much more sense from a business owner perspective, right? If you're just like a high school student and you want to scam people, which by the way, I do not recommend, it'll come back to bite you, but you don't care about client results, sure, go sell those upfront retainers. But if you want to build an actual profitable long-term business, you need to sell something that the market wants. You can't be trying to shove something down their throat and fit a product that people don't want into a market that doesn't want it. It's trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. If you've ever listened to some of the greatest entrepreneurs on the planet, like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, you need to go from the market back to the product. You need to make the product fit what the market already wants instead of trying to fit what you already have to a market that doesn't want it. And right now, the markets do not want to pay for retainers, right? On their end, they have to front money without making any money, and they don't have an opportunity to make money yet. So it's just a net negative for them to start. Two, they've probably been burned in the past and gotten bad results. Three, if you don't have a guarantee, they have absolutely zero way of knowing if you can actually deliver for them. And on the flip side, it's actually worse for you as the business too. Because of the fact you're putting so much pressure on sales, you'll generally have to add a crazy guarantee in there. Because of the fact you're putting so much pressure on the sales side, you generally have to add a crazy guarantee to make them say yes. And so a lot of people now are doing satisfaction guarantees, or they're doing a certain KPI, right? 10 qualified appointments. And if they don't hit it, they lose all of the money they charge, which means, yes, you get the money quicker, but if anything goes wrong, it's not actually your money. You're just taking a loan from them for a month and then working your ass off and then paying it back in full at the end of the month. And at that point, just use a credit card, bro. And on the flip side, let's say you get them fantastic results and you hit your guarantee. And let's say you actually exceed it. Let's say you get them 20 appointments. And let's say that they make $25,000 profit. How much do you make for making them $25,000 profit? Well, you make $2,000. And then maybe they'll re-up the next month, but let's say you make them 50,000 next month, you're still making $2,000 profit. On the flip side, let's look at this model where when they make more money, you make more. Guess what they're going to want to do when they make a bunch of money with you? They're going to put more of their money back into those ads and into the AI sales teams that you're running for them because they know they're going to make even more back. And guess what that means for you? When they buy more appointments from you, you continue to stack up more and more and more and more and more money. If they do a really hard push one month, you can make $25,000 off of one client. Now, that is not the norm. I don't want you to expect that early on, right? This is going to be months or even years after you've been running your agency. For us, it was a couple months after we launched, but it is very much a possibility. And the really cool thing is you only have to manage a couple of clients, right? One client alone can pass $10,000 a month for you. But two, instead of having to spend all your time on building a crazy website, really good branding, putting out content, running crazy marketing, getting insanely talented at sales, which are a huge number of different skills, right? And then also having to learn fulfillment, you can just lean really heavily into your product and creating an absolutely killer product that already sells itself. And you only have to bring on a couple really high quality customers. And the crazy thing is, the best customers, the ones that will actually pay the most in the bigger businesses, they want to work on a performance basis, even if it means they actually pay more, right? Because they know that you have skin in the game and you'll perform better if you have skin in the game as well. And for all of those reasons, I think this performance-based model using and licensing and selling these AI sales teams is so, so effective. Now, if you want help doing this, because trust me, it sounds simple, but when it comes to implementing, there are a bunch of little questions, little snags that'll get in the way. You can work directly with me one-on-one, not with a group coaching program, not with a course, right? You'll actually speak with me one-on-one about doing one-on-one mentorship. Now, I can't promise you a spot because I can only work with a maximum of 5 people per month. But if you go to the description below, I have a page that talks more about this model. You can learn the sort of ins and outs, and then you can decide if it makes sense for you to work with me on a one-on-one basis. That is completely your choice. I only want you to do that if that sounds interesting. On the flip side, if you just want to learn more about this model and you're not curious about working with me at all, which is totally okay, don't worry, I won't take too much offense to that, then I'm going to link one video here and one video here that are talking about more things related to running this business model and giving you more tools you can use so that you can start your own AIGA, your own AI growth agency, and start making money as well. But I hope you got a ton of value out of this video, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.